Hello, everyone. Welcome to Winners of Grinners, a special Monday edition of Winners of Grinners. Joining me as usual, Dave Tinnis. Carroll, how are you, mate?
Good afternoon. Yeah, great to be here, especially, there's been a couple of big days in sport for Australia, and then we're leading up to another big week of sport on Wednesday night.
Barry Koch, how are you, bud?
I'm very excited. Yes,
And
I'm very, very excited.
joining us from good old uptown Herberton, where it's probably minus 20 degrees and snowing, Trentt Cooper.
Boys, how are yous?
Very good.
I'm very good.
I often call
I am actually quite cold here. It's not minus 20. I don't think it has broken 20 all day today.
You're up on the Atherton Alps. Of course it's bloody cold.
906 metres above sea level. So,
Yes.
yes, it's beautiful. Beautiful this time of year.
Good to know. All right. Now, a few things we need to talk about today. Obviously, last week they've announced the new State of Origin teams for Wednesday night, and I'm just grabbing my team list here. Now, we've got a few injuries here, of course. Coruscant, Lucas, Bostock, Marky Mark, Moses and Payne Haas are the ins for New South Wales, and Casey McLean, Blake Bradley, Jacob Saififi, Matt Burton and Stephen Crichton are out for New South Wales. Queensland, Lukey, what is his name? Fanakasawi, whatever his name is.
Stuart Mawalawi.
That's the one. To Murray and Reese Walsh, Hollywood. That's a couple of interesting ins.
Is Walsh the 18th man, though?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so he might not get it right at this point.
He's in the 18 and the 19, so he is eligible for the for selection during the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ezra Mam, Shibasaki and Patrick Carrigan are out for the Maroons. Shibasaki was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, he's injured. That's what's happened.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So he's out. He's out for the whole series as well.
Yeah, no surprise with Ezra.
Yeah, and no, that's right. And Carrigan, obviously, he's out for the series as well. Helam Lukey will be 20th man, so only will make it onto the bench if there is a injury before the game or if there's a an activation during the game as well.
What do we think of the both the sides?
I love Marky Mark coming in on the wing because we're all hearing that he's going to be effectively marking up Sam Walker and knows Sam Walker's game really, really well because those two combine well for the Roosters. So, I'm he'll handle State of Origin okay because he's already paid for Australia. So that's not an issue at all. It will be interesting to see, what Walker does.
Can you please say his last name for me, Dave?
Yeah, I can't pronounce it.
Nawase. No, what are we now say?
Yeah, so I think that's a good. I mean, like Casey McLean, it's very unfortunate that he did a quad. I think it was a quad. But to bring in the Roosters winger against Sam Walker won't be a concern at all. No.
Yeah, I've heard Appy Gilmore's in the side too.
Yeah, I heard that too.
That's
He
another.
did it again. I honestly start thinking he does it just for the to take the pressure off his team, because Curacao must have had a good laugh about that, or maybe he put him up to it. Who knows?
Yeah, could have.
Do you think he's intentionally saying the names wrong to just get in the media?
I don't know. First one was funny. Second time, you're like, hang on. Have you got dementia?
Someone's taken the P15S.
Trent, what's your take on the two teams? What are you thinking?
Well, I was trying to work out what my thoughts on New South Wales was, but they keep changing the team every day. Someone drops out, and they put a new one in there. But look, the team that they have got now is probably stronger than probably game one in some respects. You've got Kohler playing in the centres, which is where his best position is. You've got Nwanga playing on the wing. Yes, he'll know Walker's game. He's gonna have to be marking up on Selwyn Cobbo, so that'll be interesting as well to see.
But he's pretty tough anyway, though.
Yeah, so he's a big enough guy to do it. But
yeah.
I think he'll go all right. Concern for New South Wales will be he does have a silly pass, like the pass back on the inside a lot. Like you saw that in the Kangaroos tour where he wasn't that effective. Every time he'd get the ball, he'd almost be running out and he'd throw it back in. So we'll be sweating on that as Queenslanders for when he does that. And we'll hoping he makes that sort of mistake. Queensland team, I'm actually really happy with it. I'm really happy with it. I'm happy with Reece Walsh on the bench. He has had the poorest form leading up to this game. Probably doesn't deserve to be there. But if one person is going to bring the best out of him, it's going to be Billy Slater. It's probably the best thing for him for the whole season that he's spent the last week with Billy Slater. So I think it's going to be a great game. I really do. I can't wait. I'm just, counting. I'm plucking the chickens up here, just getting ready for Wednesday.
I think both teams can obviously win it. Just comes down to if Laurie Daly's going to be a good coach or not on the night. That's what if New South Wales have started poorly, Daz, the last 3 games. I have no faith in this bloke. The motivation, what he obviously can't do to get New South Wales up for a state of origin is zero. If they start poorly again, I don't even really care, even if they do win the game in the end. It just shows that he's not up to bloody state of origin. I don't get pumped up enough about the two teams or the game because I have no respect for Laurie Daly as a coach. I just find him to be so... I don't know, some of the things he does is such immaturity too. Like the way he expresses himself on the bench at times, like, mate, you don't need to, I don't know, he turns around, throws his hand, yes, it is good to have emotion, but you see no emotion from Billy. I mean, you do, but it's like if someone makes a mistake or something's a near miss.
He's always pretty classy in his responses, isn't he, Billy?
Yeah, whereas
it's measured. They're always a measured response.
He just doesn't know how to control his emotions when someone makes a mistake or as it's a near miss or if, he looks as though, why me, or poor me. It just, I don't know. I just...
You're not expecting... What do you reckon? If he wins the series, does he get another run next year or does Ivan Cleary take over?
No, I think he'll get another run.
Yeah, he probably gets another run. And I know we've spoken about this, that you think Cleary might go somewhere else. But if New South Wales win it, he'll be coaching 2027. I know you got your own thoughts, but I still think Cleary will coach New South Wales in 2028.
Does Billy Slater actually take up an NRL slot if he loses?
Or even if he wins, he still needs to take the Melbourne's position.
If it's there, I'm not sure about that yet.
You don't think?
Still not sure about.
You don't think Bellamy will step aside?
I don't know if he wants it.
Well, it's no, but
he's got so many other things going on.
Yeah, but it's not his decision to. If he's not well enough to do it.
Yeah, that's Craig Bellamy, but I don't know if Billy Slater wants the pressure of a NRL coaching full-time NRL coaching.
He could for Melbourne. Well, if he doesn't,
the only team that he possibly could.
I suppose I know.
Well, what about PNG? Or what about PNG?
I don't think he would go anywhere to all those. I mean, PNG have already got Willie Peters there, but I don't think. I think the only team that would even slightly entice him would be Melbourne Storm, but it just depends on how much he's enjoying his role for Queensland. I mean, we'd hate to lose him, because there's who comes in after that, Cameron Smith or someone else like that's it. It would be someone you wouldn't expect. I think
because I know we're going right off tap here, but I suppose if Billy Slater doesn't want the job, and even if he does want the job, Cameron Smith is the ideal man to be coaching Melbourne because he's involved in Broncos now, isn't he?
Yeah.
He is.
Not a lot, probably part-time.
His whole family are based up in Brizzy now.
Oh,
So
right.
he'd have to go back to Melbourne,
okay.
whereas Billy's still in Melbourne.
Okay. Okay.
So
Yeah, look, my concern is I just think Billy is a better coach than Laurie Daly and prepares his players better. And that's why I don't have much faith that I said, I think a few weeks ago, that would win 3-0 mucking around. If New South Wales do not win Wednesday night, we do not win the series. It's pretty simple. I know that's easy to say, but we don't.
Well, I think it's going to come down to, a couple of moments, and I reckon it'll still be very close. Even if, like we've seen it, even if Queensland gets away early, and Queensland needs to get away early because New South Wales, as much as you're talking about how New South Wales have had poor starts, well, you have a look in the second half of those 3 games that you're talking about, and New South Wales have run us down virtually. And we've only just won in each one of those games.
Exactly.
So,
well, we're at Baz's house, round 1. Great house it is and great hospitality. Thank you, Barry.
Oh, you're welcome.
And I think it would have been 10 minutes before the deserved send-off. But you said I think it was 20-6, you felt as though that
Queensland weren't going to score again. Yeah,
I remember you saying that.
The tide had turned. Like, Blues weren't playing that great, and they certainly didn't play great in the first half, but it just felt like they had tightened up their defence, and Queensland just weren't going to get a look in again.
Oh, look, as soon as Kalen actually went off the field,
and after that, they certainly were not scoring.
We all knew that.
But it was before that. It was even the 10 minutes, 15 minutes before.
Yeah.
You felt that Queensland, where were they going to score?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I think if the team, if Ponga had stayed on, I do think Queensland probably score once again, but it's probably towards the end of the match. I think, as fatigue comes in, but the fatigue just got to the Queenslanders in the end. Look how well they did, though, to keep New South Wales out, and really only in the last minute that they lost that game.
Yeah, exactly.
But I look at it and just think if you had that extra man there, and you had, because we had to put someone out the back, then we've only got an 11-man defensive line in front, and it just went side to side after that.
Oh,
and
I know, I agree all that.
But the defence was just worn out.
But they still weren't the defence for New South Wales when Radley came on, and was it Cam Murray?
Yep.
The game had changed. They changed those two changed. They stiffened up the defence. Look, they could have scored, but New South
What
Wales.
I like about the Queensland team, in what you're talking about there, is that this game they've got Reuben Cotter in the middle to start, and they've got Max Plaff on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Now you've got a like-for-like guy in the middle there.
Yeah.
Continually think I think that's probably the fix, and maybe what Billy saw, what you're talking about. Maybe he looked at that and said, "We need someone there that's not a prop or someone slow to match when Radley and Murray come on." So it's good. I think this is why it's a three match series, because both teams look like they've learnt from it as well.
No, totally.
I mean, there's been injuries.
Yeah.
And look, what are you thinking about Mitchell Moses? What's your thoughts? He's been struggling with this.
Look, I'm only involved in community football, and I know it's a lot different than State of Origin, that high level, but you can't come back. You cannot be playing for a month, and he would have lost a little bit of base fitness. He'll tire out by 60 minutes. They'll have to replace him. Don't you think, Dad? It's a massive risk. You just leave Ethan Strange in. You can't bring someone who's had a hamstring, he didn't really train that much last week either.
Strange had a blinder in the first
Like he
game.
did. I haven't heard how much he's trained over the weekend. I've been so busy on the weekend.
No, well, he's still yet to get the full flight.
So they've still yet to pull the trigger on him.
So I think they probably realise how important his kicking game is to them.
Yeah.
And maybe look, if he does get 60 minutes out and then they replace him with Ethan Strange, well, I'll be concerned as a Queenslander.
Yeah, I get that.
Because then he's Ethan. I'm kind of glad Ethan's not starting. Well, and look, anything can happen in the next couple of days, but I'm kind of glad Ethan's not starting because he's got a bit of that too young to have any scars, mentality. So I think so. Like, there's no mental scars from all the years that Queensland have won. He just wants to go out and play footy.
Yeah, I know, but it's a big ask. He hasn't played for nearly 4 to 5 weeks. I don't know. To come to State of Origin, it's just I don't know.
Pardon the pun. Strange.
It's strange not to have Strange.
It is. Yeah.
Like it's just a massive risk. New South Wales need to don't edit that out, Daz. No, New South Wales need to win on Sunday night for State of Origin, obviously, but they'll come for Laurie. They'll come for Laurie if they have a shocker. If they have a shocker and he breaks down,
the claws are already out.
Good.
Trent, while you're on the phone, can we talk about the referee and his gambling past?
Yes. It's about to actually get into this.
I think journos have been trying to scrap up something on it because it's been the story that keeps on giving. Ashley Klein for the last 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, there was the story about that came out today that the NRL are refusing to release the tapes of the actual.
Investigation.
What the bunker said, and now we've pulled out his gambling past, and it's made us Queenslanders all rabbit up here.
I really didn't think it actually was really a legitimate story, to be honest with you, and I still don't think it is now.
Until you find out now, like it's on every channel basically.
Yeah, and it comes down.
So it is actually a legitimate story, but it
comes down to it. Look. There's two things. One, it does come down to integrity, but the other thing as well is that it was 2 years ago. It's in the past.
Oh,
gone.
7 years ago.
Well,
7 years ago.
7 years ago.
And so the other thing too is, and this was really pointed out, that when Nathan Hindmarsh and I think there was another guy came out and said, that they'd had gambling issues and lost a certain amount of money. Yep. The people came out and said, "Oh, poor guy, at least he's getting some help." But the last thing we want to hear is a referee having the same problems. Yet, if there's no evidence of him
tampering
betting on NRL games or anything, well, I get it. I get it. I probably, if we'd had this podcast a few days ago, my position probably was a little bit different. I was skeptical, going, "Oh, come on, you can't have a referee with a gambling issue." But who knows? If they probably all have it. Like maybe it's just one of those things.
Of course they got it. It's easy to do.
I feel like though the refs should be above reproach. Like they should be squeaky clean on this. Like, it's a terrible look for the NRL.
There's that too.
No, it's a terrible look because now, Treno, there's only one NRL referee on the field. So he can determine if he's given one of his mates 200,000, 100,000, siphon it off to say, I will make a decision throughout the game, which did go against in the first.
It's like having a high court judge that has done a stint in jail in the past or something, it really shouldn't be there in his history.
I know you're saying that, but it's just open. Like in AFL footy, there's 4 of them. There's only one referee on the field. If he wants to get a little bit rogue in his decisions,
and it was solely his decision to send Ponga off too.
It doesn't look well too when the perception from game 1 was he overruled the bunker when we hadn't seen that before. And so, and then this comes out, and then, 1 and 1 makes a house fire, like it's just, that's how we all kind of start thinking. So, I mean, you got to admit, he's going to be under a heck of a lot of pressure come game 2. There was talk that, for his own, if the NRL probably should come out and, stand him down just for his own mental health on this. But if it's coming down to that, they shouldn't be standing him down for what's happened in the past, because this is well and truly this knowledge was always out there. So, look, I don't know. I've had a lot to think about with this, and Billy Slater didn't use this as an excuse. If Queensland go in looking for an excuse or thinking that the referee's against us and this, that, and the other, well, we're already lost. So I do like his mentality in that. He just went, no, it is what it is. That was a decision on the field. We had to be better, So, but there is no team has won a game when they've had a send-off, except for Queensland when Reece Walsh got sent off. But that was right at the end of the game, and Luai got sent off as well.
Yeah.
So, that's probably the only time that's ever happened. But when it's happened at a crucial point, it's pretty much game over.
Now, the other thing as well is, speaking of referees and mistakes, you and pretty much I was actually pretty vocal about the Warriors-Sharks game on Saturday, where the referee actually made said 5 seconds on the thing, and 2 seconds later it actually went and he penalised.
Well, the backstory on that is that Tavita Harris couldn't see the screen to see what the countdown was. They had a technical issue on the TV, and it played an ad, and he said, "Oh, how long have I got?" And Jared Sutton went, "Okay, you've got 5 seconds." 1, 2, buzzer goes, and as the buzzer's going, he's kicking that ball, and then he turns around and says, "Oh no,
Penalty.
it's a penalty." And he said, "Hang on, you just said there's 5 seconds."
Yeah.
He said, "Yeah, but I can't control the buzzer. The rule is if you've got to kick it away from the buzzer." Well, I think you posted it today.
I did.
They've come out and said, "No, you're dead wrong."
Yeah.
It should be the referee's discretion on that. And I'm watching it live, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing, because I'm sitting there going, "Well, hang on,"
Yeah, you said 5 seconds.
They say play the whistle, right? I'm going to go, but what if there was an error up there, and like in the buzzer? If he said 5 seconds, it's 5 seconds. I don't. And look, we go back to State of Origin game 1 when there was a scrum feed and the buzzer went before the ball was fed, but they just kept going with it anyway.
Yeah.
So
they have the power to overrule it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm looking at it going, well, we've seen all this, and we've just learnt in the last few weeks, that the main referee has the power to overrule, and then apparently the buzzer is more important. But no, at least they cleared that up today. But
doesn't change the result.
But did Sharks win with that penalty kick?
2 points, and it was a clear 2 points kick in front of the post.
Yeah.
And when we're worried about the integrity of refereeing and stuff like that, and that was the first scoring of the game, you do sit there. Is there something going in it? I don't think there is, but it just, the layman on the street can't trust what he's seeing.
It's a bit suspect.
He's just thinking something's going up.
But then the referee blamed the clock. He said, I don't know.
There was another time as well where there was a scrum, and there was actually a scrum, and all of a sudden the buzzer actually goes off, and there was a penalty. And there was another fault on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I know. It's such a big business, Treno and Daz, and it's such a big business for them to come out today to say that they did get it wrong. It's now cost the Warriors 2 points. It could cost them top 2 position.
Yeah.
It's...
Yep. Well,
it's not good enough. I know.
Team.
Sorry.
Face another team whose coach is struggling, right? and that's the straw that breaks the camel's back, and he gets the sack.
Yeah, I know.
Like they look and go, mate, you didn't make you only got 6 wins, and he goes, well, hang on, there was these moments where I
you didn't meet your
should have
KPIs.
won that one, or we should have had this opportunity, and it doesn't. So
I know.
We've got to be better. Look, the easy fix for me on that, right? If we're going by sound, there should be a beep, 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 or something like that, so you know.
Beep test.
Here it comes.
Yeah, because like,
you know what
like
I mean?
5 seconds doesn't. So when does the 5 seconds commence? Like,
Oh no, it was just that it was 5 seconds left.
Oh,
It
5
was-
seconds
I think
left.
he got 45 seconds to kick
Right.
that ball, kind of thing.
Oh, I
And
don't
so
think they had that long,
He
do they?
came up and they were talking, and then they came up and went, "Hang on, well, how many seconds have I got?" He knew it must be close.
and
the
and
referee
it's,
goes,
it's
"Oh, 5
because they
seconds."
couldn't see the time clock, though.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, they couldn't. They couldn't because the screen was playing up. And this is the thing. This is when we're looking at technology, and all this technology now has effects on games and all this sort of thing. Whereas the guy with the whistle, I guess, really is the most important thing. And Jared should have stood up and said, "I said 5 seconds. We'll do a redo here." You know, that's what he should have
Yeah,
done.
he should- yes.
or just let it go through, kind of thing. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Oh,
And
I
then
think that
they
would have
went
loved-
Well,
up
it
wins,
wasn't.
they
It
say,
was
"Okay, I
not.
said it could be
That
5
did not
seconds."
deserve a penalty in front.
No,
No.
no, and then you know what? As we looked in the end of the game, that was the difference in the game.
That
Yeah.
was,
You know,
and now
if they're-
that
if they're 4 points ahead, you know, then Sharks don't kick that
That's
2-pointer at the end of it. You know, they're only doing it to tie.
Yeah.
So
you know, and now it's because they're in a position now that Manly's right up their arse, and so is Buddy and Newcastle. Like,
I don't think there's anything wrong with that, though.
no, I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. But what, Manly been up their arse?
No, Manly. Well, that's a personal issue, but no.
isn't it? But Manly are third now, and Warriors are sitting on 22.
22, Manly's
Manly's
on
20.
20,
it could
Dolphins on
cost them
20.
a home final series.
Yeah.
That's what it could.
Well,
happen.
that's what I
'Cause
said.
If you
It
end
could
up-
co- if this-
if you end up third,
That's
then
right.
you've got to go.
This
and
could
play
cost them.
probably men.
This could
you know,
cost them
so-
a home final.
Yeah, could do because you're home all series. If you're
That's
first
right.
and second,
Yeah.
you're home all series.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's a massive blunder, and the NRL normally don't come out and agree with an error or a error that was correct, and yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
I just think because of everything that's been going on, you know, when we're talking about Klein and stuff, they probably thought we better come out and say, no, this was incorrect on this one, because otherwise, you know, I'm scratching my head. Like, you must admit, with all this last couple of years that, you know, that we've seen new 6 agains and all this sort of thing.
Well,
I'm not
actually,
watching as
let's
much
talk about
as
that.
I used to.
Let's talk
know?
about that. That 6 again rule. Okay. Now, Peter V'landys has actually met up with a lot of players as well and basically said, well, I think we might need to change this. And it's like, well, that's 5 years since you've actually introduced the bloody thing, and all of a sudden you want to change that
Well,
6
what was
again
wrong
rule
with it
because it's
last
not
year?
working.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
you've been
like
going on,
last-
Daz, for this, and it's because something that's very passionate to you, isn't it?
Yeah.
This rule.
Oh, it is.
You don't
Absolutely.
like
It
like-
takes away the actual flow of the game. If you're offside, it's a penalty.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're not on the mark, it's a penalty, and it's that simple. Okay.
Well, the whole idea was to get rid of the wrestle in the game. And look, they did achieve that. Last year, the 6 agains didn't start till it was at the 40-metre mark.
Yeah.
So you still had the time, if there was a penalty within your 40, you had the chance to kick the line and move forward, right?
Yeah.
Now they've moved it back to 20 metres. It just seems, but look, that in saying that, they must be really, really trying to not give them, because I noticed in a few games over the weekend, you know, there wasn't, and they make a point now to say, oh, there wasn't a lot of 6 agains in this one, you know. So, but I look at it and think, all right, if you're going to keep the 6 agains, go 6 again, and then if there's a second one, right, it's a penalty, and if there's a third one, you're off.
Yeah.
Like it should be just like.
Well, it's got to be. there's got to be a certain point that you're keeping up these constant 6 agains. Okay, so there's either one or two things happening. One is they're milking it, or two, they're actually wanting this for genuine shits and giggles and wanting to keep up the flow of the game for fatigue factor.
Well, can you see that? Like, you know, I've been trying to keep count of what the tackle is as through the whole drive.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm calling it a drive now instead of just a 6, because, like, you know, you can be up to, like, I think I got up to 19 or 20 tackles.
Yeah, and we don't want it like rugby. We don't want it like rugby
you know?
union, and that's what the game's becoming. It's like rugby.
Yep. And look, what killed rugby in Australia? All these technical rules and all these things that but made it boring to watch.
Yeah.
Well, we're heading down that path very quickly, and we need to change it, because this is the most important. We finally, as rugby league supporters, we've finally got the number one sport in Australia, right? We've just topped the AFL, but we keep changing the rules. It's going to get to the point where I'd rather watch an AFL game than a rugby league.
I agree.
You know,
I agree.
We're just shooting ourselves in the foot, and I don't know. Like, there's a lot of different things that can change. You know, I would love to see, you know, a World Series 9s happen. I'd love to see, you know, I've talked about it before, you know, Pacifica versus New Zealand in an Origin series. But you can't bring any of these in if your base product is
not working.
So
but
it
is working, lads. It's working, because obviously we're all still continuing to watch it.
Yeah.
You know?
But are you going to attract the younger ones to watch it? That's the thing. We're passionate. We're 30, 40 years in, you know what I mean?
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, we're rusted on. But, like, when you look at it and you get the young fella who's, you know, like my young fella's there, and I'm trying to explain what's going on, and they're going, well, what was that one for, Dad?
Well,
you know, and I go, I don't know, son. And they go, oh, well, this is a bit boring.
Well, the 6 again, sometimes we have no idea, and you just said that as what that penalty is.
Yeah, and we don't know what that was for,
because
there's nothing on the screen to indicate why.
Ruck infringement.
Ruck infringement.
But that's what happened in rugby union, Treno, that you just said.
Yes.
We had. I kind of turned off rugby union, Baz, because I had no freaking idea what that was all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 2003 was probably the last of it, you know, of when it was good in Australia. We made the World Cup final, you know. You still knew basically what was going on. You just come out of the golden era of '99 where we were just fantastic, you know. But after that, it just slipped into this, you know, technicalities and this, and they're blowing whistles, and you're going, and it's a sport that I'd played, right? And I'm sitting there going, well, I don't even know what that's for, and you know, and you asking other people and go, oh, look, I don't know, he's just blowing the whistle, I think. Well, that's what we're getting into. Like
because
Darren, you're a referee.
Retired.
And you're sitting there going, you're watching the
about
game.
bloody time too.
You know,
I'm going, well, what's it for?
An accredited referee doesn't know what's going on when he's watching it. Well, how's a layman in the street supposed to know it?
Yeah,
and exactly what you just said, Daz. Like you said, you know, we don't know if it's offside, it's a penalty. But you can go 2 or 3 times and go back-to-back 6 agains before the referee will go, I'm sick of this. I'm going to send one of you bastards off. But you could get 3 6 agains before he even thinks about
it. Could be up to tackle 23.
Exactly, mate. That's right.
And this is what it shouldn't be. We shouldn't be getting tackle 23.
That's right.
I don't know if it should go past 12. You
know, I agree. I think if you go twice, well, maybe you do twice, but if it's the third time,
then someone's in the bin.
Someone's got to go.
Yeah,
I agree.
You know, and they know that. Then you've got to be. But it still gives that discretion to the referee. You know, to go and then we're watching going, oh, he just hates my team. When you know
he probably does hate the Cowboys.
You know, ruck infringement. Oh, we just get pinged for this ruck. I don't even know what a ruck infringement is. And it's a different one. To say, I don't know. Like it's just.
This is why I'm saying. The refs need to be above reproach because they can really control a game if they're so inclined.
Exactly, because there's only one of them on the field.
More than ever, they can, not guarantee a result of a game, but they can push it towards the result.
Well, they can now. There's only one on the field. I mean, I know football, as in soccer, only has one, but most other sports have two or more.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's so subjective, some of these calls, that like nobody can say, oh, no, you got that wrong, you got that right. It's like, well, if it's a 50-50, I can rule either way.
Exactly.
If
I don't like the way you're looking at me, Baz, I'm going to penalise you.
Yeah.
Well, look, I personally, in my background, I was a nationally accredited indoor cricket umpire, right? I've umpired nationals, I've umpired some former greats of cricket, of Australian cricket, Bruce Reid and a few others, Mitchell Johnson I've umpired in indoor cricket. And, it was always about doing what you could. But in saying that, I could easily see how I could affect a game if I was that way inclined. I could easily change the game. But I think I never did, and I can hand on heart never did. I'm a big believer that, cheating, there's no point in it, kind of thing. You play the game, whatever game you're playing, whether it's even poker or even whatever, you have to play it right. I don't like getting an advantage on anything, and I don't like to influence something that shouldn't be, right? But even in that sport, you could easily change it. And you have a look at with rugby league, I just got to give. If I was the referee, all I'd have to do is two drives or three drives in a row where the defensive team has to take 18 tackles in there. I can guarantee that team's not winning.
Yep. So for sure, without a doubt it is. So, and especially there's only one referee. He can do whatever.
Exactly.
Like cricket's got two, NBA's got three. Baseball.
Well, we had the two referees and it didn't work.
Yeah.
And that was the thing, because then they would fight against each other.
And how does that not work when AFL can have four?
Oh, I know. Yeah, I'll give it. I don't know. Like, I don't watch a lot of AFL, but every time I have watched it, I couldn't tell you the name of any of those referees. I don't remember the referees out there. I just don't remember.
I know.
Right?
But to be fair,
I know the look on every single one of these referees in rugby league.
Look, to be fair,
if I walk past them in the street, I know exactly who they were.
To be fair, though, the AFL's a bigger ground.
Yeah,
So
I get that, but you could still have two referees on the NRL.
Two umpires, yeah.
Two referees for NRL.
Does it get to artificial intelligence? Is that where we're going?
It's getting that way.
Is it refereed by artificial intelligence?
Yeah.
Like to take the human factor out of it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
AI never gets anything wrong.
No.
Yeah.
Jeez,
exactly
I hope
right.
not.
I
will walk away. I will walk away from sport. I'll walk away from sport if it becomes AI.
Yeah. Well, we've already seen that.
Because you want the human error.
Everything in cricket.
Hey?
Hawkeye and cricket. It's already there.
Yeah, it's already there.
We've been heading this way
but we
for a
got
long,
the
long
bunker.
period of time. The bunker. Look at the bunker.
Well, even the bunker has problems.
Should we move on, guys, and look at the games?
We can talk about this forever.
We're 40 minutes in, so
yeah,
nice and warm now.
Yeah. Well, thank God somebody's warming up.
Yeah.
All right,
degrees apparently, but I'm warm. So.
Yeah, of course you are. All right, let's get on with the NRL results for the weekend. The Rabbitohs 48 defeated the Broncos 6. Broncos
Smashed
are just terrible.
They're just dreadful.
It's just
they look like
mistake
they've given
rigging.
up, haven't they?
They have.
I don't understand where they are as a football club. They're the wealthiest sporting club in Australia, and one of them.
Rabbits aren't even doing that well this year, but they put 48 on the premiers.
They've got a very good coach. They've got a really good list. They've got a great supporter base. They're wealthy.
Well, the Dragons last week.
They're a one-team town.
Well, they're two teams.
No,
two-team town.
Yeah, if you know yourself, it's bloody Redcliffe, boys. if you want to talk two-team, you've got to bring in East Brisbane. Seriously, Redcliffe's not Brisbane. I'm telling you now.
We'll be there all day talking about that.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying, they are a one team because they get all the sponsorship out of the corporations in the CBD.
Well, speaking of the other team, Dolphins 48-10 over the Roosters.
Yeah.
This was a great game of football up until probably halftime, and then the Dolphins just absolutely creamed them.
What do you mean?
I'm actually
What do you mean?
happy seeing the Roosters.
It was a
the
good
Dolphins
game
do
of
this.
football. It was a decent game of football up until half time.
I just can't trust the Roosters. They're not going to win the premiership. They're not going to win the premiership.
It
No.
would have been different if they had their players out there. Honestly, like they had Nwanga
A lot of
they had
outs.
Sam Walker, they had Tedesco,
Yeah.
they had Victor Radley. They're just the ones I can think of right now that were playing. Oh, Lindsay Collins. So they were pretty decimated. I knew that they were going to lose that game. And I would have been surprised very surprised if they had won, because I looked at the one thing the Dolphins have this year is depth.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable how strong they look across the park, and look, they've got probably the most underrated half in the competition in Cody Nikorima. I'll tell you a quick story. I still remember the day I met Cody Nikorima. I kept calling him Jaden. I was like, and I must have done about 2 or 3 times. Jaden's his brother,
Oh, God.
right?
Oh, good on you.
And he had this weird look on his face, and I didn't know what. You get that weird feeling like something's going on here, and then as he's going, I'm like, see you later, Jaden, and I could see he's shaking his head, and I didn't even think about it until later. Well, he went out and had an absolute blinder that night against the Cowboys, and I always say that I put him thing because he went, well, I'm going to show you what my name is. But no, he's been brilliant since he's been back. I think since Jeremy Marshall King's been back as well, they stepped up. You got to remember the Dolphins were crap in the first 5 rounds. They were what?
They were.
2 from 5 or something like that. And we're sitting there thinking, oh well, this is a failed failure of expansion, and you can't have look at them. They had a genuine top 4 threat this year.
Yeah.
I would say, and I was very happy. Look,
And they've had more. They've got more outs than the Broncos as well.
Yeah, I was going to just about to say, it's like they've got a lot out. Like
They're actually
Tom
are in the top 4 right now.
Tom
but
Gilbert, they've got a lot out.
Their depth is amazing this year. They're going to do something.
Fins up, boys.
I feel
Fins up.
like there's a preliminary final for them as well.
All right, moving on. Warriors, Sharks.
10-8.
Well, we spoke about this game, but
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, and we still all have faith in the Warriors, and we know that they're going to finish top 4, and we've been talking about them for months that they'll finish top 4. So I have no issues. Yes, for them to lose at home is disappointing, but that's a game that got away from them, probably outside of their.
Give Will Kennedy credit for that charge down though.
Yeah, look, they probably.
He wedged perfectly in his arm, and then Braden Trindle kicks the 2-point field goal to win the game. Look, that last 2 minutes was great watching, but it should never really have got to that point. I don't.
Eels 15 defeated the Raiders 12.
What a good tip this was for you.
It was a great
Tenez.
tip. I was. And when it got to 15-0 with 18 minutes to go, I was so stressed out.
To be fair, you've been backing the Eels every week.
I have,
It's finally come good for you.
Yeah, look, and I thought they were going to lose. I thought they continually turned the ball over. They played poorly in that last 18 minutes. Parramatta.
The last game on Sunday, the Tigers 36, the Titans 28.
Tigers were down.
Yeah,
Tigers
I
were
watched.
down.
I watched this game in the second half. Jerome Luai. Now he's been
blitz.
nowhere for the last 3 months. Well, he's actually been in PNG, thinking the life in PNG for the last 3 months. He was good. Scored 3 tries. First time he's ever scored 3 tries in a game. He was pumped up. He led.
I was initially on the Titans.
Well, why didn't you bloody well pick him then?
Probably until about the Thursday, and I read something. There was another story about Jerome's what not worth the money he's been given and stuff. And I just thought, you know what, this is set up perfectly for a Jerome Luai special this weekend. To pull his finger out and show everyone what he's got. Most of the game he wasn't there, but it was in that second half that he just.
He dominated. He was. Yeah, he led his team to a victory, and well done to Jerome. And the Tigers are now back. They're back in that mix of about 18 or 20. I think they were on 18 points. So there's a lot of teams in that 18, 16 to 20 points. I think Manly's on 20, who are sitting third, and then you probably go all the way to 12. and teams on 16. So the second half of the season, it's tight as. That's great.
Now, that's your scoreboard there, thanks to DC Finance. And anything on the horizon
Mate,
this week?
it's gone very quiet. All I know,
Very quiet.
Yeah, no, people trying to save their pennies at the moment. So
If you want a loan, give Dave a call.
yeah, that's what it's all about.
So the Optimus 1 ladder, the Panthers are on top and Daylight second. Warriors on 22, and then the Sea Eagles 20. Dolphins on 20, Sharks on 20, the Roosters on 20, Knights on 20, and the Rabbits on 18. That's followed by the Cowboys, West Tigers, Storm, Bulldogs, Raiders, Broncos, Eels, Titans, and Dragons.
Can you just fill me in, Daz? What are Melbourne sitting on?
Melbourne are currently sitting, they've played 14 and have 14 points.
With 2 buys to
They're
come.
only-
Two buys to
yeah.
come.
They're 11th.
They're 11th.
Yep. So Cowboys have got 2 buys to come as well. So that's why I don't know if we should be having 2 points for a buy, because it's really hard to actually see where your team is sitting.
Is performing.
Yeah.
Well, we know how they're
or Where
performing.
it really is, because like if you add those buys in right now and add all the buys in, I think you'll find that Cowboys are probably in the 8 and Melbourne are just outside of it.
Yeah,
You know, so
I still maintain that the Storm will not make finals this year.
It depends on what happens in this Origin series. I think if Munster leads Queensland to victory again, I think you'll find
realistically, they're sitting on 18 points.
14
Well,
points.
18 with the 2
but
buys.
realistically 18. That's right.
Yeah. All right, AFL, and round 14 has been done and dusted there, and it started off with the Dogs and Adelaide. Adelaide getting up 121 to 64.
Yeah, Adelaide have really started to hit their straps the last 2 or 3 weeks, so they're becoming one of the dangers. I still don't think they're as good as Fremantle and Sydney, but yeah, that was a big touch up to the Dogs. So yeah, anyway, Adelaide Crows are motoring along very well, so good on them.
Cats get up against the Gold Coast Suns 105 to 60.
Yeah, Suns have now lost 4 games in a row and been really disappointing. Geelong have been a bit inconsistent as well. So I don't know. The issue with the Swans is a number of boys out of contract, and other clubs are trying to poach them in a good way. And that's obviously affecting the way they're playing, because that was a bad loss for the Suns.
Melbourne 95 defeated Essendon 50. Low scoring.
Yeah, and as expected, I mean, Melbourne probably didn't play that well, but Essendon are just
Struggling. They're still struggling.
It's just struggling
Does
big
James
time.
Hurd come back?
Oh, well, that's the talk, but I don't know if he will get the coach.
We don't know. Yeah, there's talk of that one, and there's another coach as well looking at taking Essendon. I'm not too sure who it was. I did see it on Channel 9 this morning, though. But I didn't
Was it
really?
Ken Hinkley?
I think so.
Yeah, I'd go for Ken Hinkley. He's a very good coach, previous coach at Port Adelaide.
North Melbourne and West Coast 74. North Melbourne defeated West Coast 73.
So West Coast had a chance to win this game minutes out and hit the post both times.
Why did they play this at Floptis Oval if it's a North Melbourne game?
It's good. So what this is that North Melbourne has given up 2 home games.
All right.
So they played Fremantle in Bunbury last week.
Okay.
So they take their club and their players to the West for 2 weeks.
Right.
Yeah. So last week they played Fremantle at Bunbury, which is south of
the
Perth.
airfare, I guess.
Yeah, and then obviously North Melbourne they gave up another home game at the West Coast. So they got 1-1. The first time they did it last year, Daz was obviously against West Coast and Fremantle, and it was 1-1. So at the moment, it's kind of working for them in a way.
Sydney 93 defeated Port Adelaide 90.
Did you see this game at all?
I did not.
No, it was a really good game. Port Adelaide were up by 10 to 15 points at one stage. It was just thought, and then Sydney get a goal or 2 in front, and then Port Adelaide would kick a goal, and it just went from end to end, kicking and goals. In the end, they actually just run out of time. That's what happened here because both defences were pretty tired in the last quarter, but it was great to watch. It was a really good game of football.
Richmond take 1 to Tasmania. The Lions get up 115 to 80.
Now, I don't know the story of this. I don't know why they took it to Tasmania in Hobart.
Ninja Stadium.
Not a bad result for Richmond.
That's Bellreeve, isn't it? Bellreeve Oval?
Is that what it is now, Bellreeve?
Yeah, I'm sure it was Bellreeve Oval.
Okay.
Is that Treno? You would know. Is that the where
the cricket is?
Cricket is.
Cricket is, yeah. Bellreeve is where the cricket is. Yep.
Yeah, they're calling it Ninja Stadium now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I
I
think
suppose-
they've been calling it that since the 2020 cricket. I'm pretty sure it's called Ninja Stadium.
Is it infested with
and Big
ninjas or
Bash.
something?
Well, I suppose you got
No. Ninja is the brand. You know, like your air fryer.
Yeah,
Barry.
the appliance
because I
brand.
suppose
Ninja.
they've got Marvel Stadium in Melbourne, so you know. So anyway,
Ninja Stadium.
yeah.
Yeah. St Kilda 96 defeated Giants 88.
It's a good win.
Really good win. I was ashamed. I'd actually probably go home and watch the mini game of this because it was a really good game of football. St Kilda had to start beating one of the teams around it or above it, and they've done that now. So, and there you go. They played at Marvel Stadium. So, obviously, it was a really good game of football for the last game of the round.
All right, so Fremantle on top. The Swans are equal first. Then you got the Cats, Melbourne, Hawthorn, Adelaide Crows round out the 6. Then you've got the Lions, Dogs, Suns and St Kilda running out the 10s. Then Giants, North Melbourne, Collingwood, Carlton, Port Adelaide, West Coast Eagles, Richmond and Essendon.
Really interesting. So Fremantle and Sydney are 3 games and hefty percentage in front of third place. So they'll both get 2 home finals. That's a cert. In the NRL, Penrith are 3 games and 2,000% in front of everyone else. If the Warriors then get the home final, I mean, I know we see it change every year that they don't win their home finals, but just the way the competition in both NRL and AFL, the way it's going this year, you could just say it's a Fremantle Sydney grand final and it's a Warriors, because I know Warriors lost at home on the weekend, but I don't think they're going to lose too many more.
Can you see Warriors Panthers coming up in the GF?
Yes, and that's and I believe the next time the Panthers, if they lose, it's in the grand final.
Okay.
They won't lose another game for the rest of the year.
So just back on the AFL though, Fremantle.
Yes.
I mean, this has got to be one of the biggest stories in
Yeah.
AFL history. They've been gone
Yeah,
for
I know.
so long.
Yeah.
Tell me what's
They've just
changed
built.
this
They've
year?
got. They're finally they're good. They're really good in all their defence is great. Their midfielders are now starting to get 60 to 80 games into them. They've got the 3 best forwards in the competition in Voss, Jaya-Miss, and I always forget his name, the big fella. Anyway, for Fremantle, they're coached really well as well. Their support base is massive. They've just been, and they've got probably the best player in the competition in Luke Jackson, who's now a ruckman. He came from Melbourne 3 years ago. And they've got Shai Bolton, who came from Richmond out of those premiership areas. So what they've done, Treno, is they've brought really, really good people in their football, just not good people. They've brought talent and high-end talent in their football club who's now complementing the good, really good footballers in their footy club. I think now
Because they must have got a lot of first round picks.
Yes.
Over the last probably 4
draft.
or 5 years.
and,
The draft picks. Yeah.
and that's what's happened. Now those young boys have become young men and probably got 60 to 80 games into them now.
Yeah.
I think they've won something like 18 or 19 straight or something now. But it's really it's
But
maybe
it's good to see. I mean, it just shows that the draft actually can work.
yeah,
You know,
definitely.
when you see that, and that's something that maybe the NRL have to be big boys and actually grow up and do it. And I think now, like, I mean, we all know it was Terry Hills. He didn't want to go to WA or whatever, and that was why the draft disappeared back in 1994 or 95 or whatever it was, or 96. But I mean, it's 30 years on. We're exposed
time to
to
get
it
over
in
it.
all these sports now. I think we need to grow up a bit and have it, because there's too many juniors that just get hoarded by some of these bigger clubs.
They do, don't they? They get hoarded by the Brisbanes and the you know, the Penrith Panthers and Roosters, probably because they can't be bothered to, you know,
develop. There's
That's
developing
right.
clubs. There's clubs that develop the talent, and then there's the ones that seem to be able to buy it.
Well, we don't really have a pathway, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
let's get closer to home now. The Black Hawks defeated the Jets 34-10. Clydesdales had a win against the Capras 34-10.
Wow, the Clydesdales.
Yeah. Cutters 27 defeated the Magpies 26. Devils 26 defeated Tweed Seagulls 16. And the Bears 22 defeated the Hunters 12. And that was in Port Moresby.
Did you say the Hunters beat?
Hunters beat. No, the Hunters actually lost.
Oh, they lost.
Yeah. So looking at that ladder there, the Falcons on top, followed by the Dolphins, Cutters, Wynnum Manly Seagulls, Jets, Bears, Pride on 7, and the Tigers round out the 8. Magpies, Capras, Blackhawks, Seagulls, Devils, Clydesdales, and Hunters. So Pride's still in the hunt at the moment.
Yeah, but they do. And we spoke this a couple of weeks ago, Treno, they've had 3 draws.
Yeah.
It's crazy, eh?
It is way crazy.
Yeah.
And it's a bit disappointing. Not like they always playing Saturday
Had 4
afternoon.
draws.
4 draws. So, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right, 4 draws. They always play at 3:10 or 5:10 on a Saturday afternoon. It's a really crazy time. You know, you've got – because you have a lot of community football, and I'd go, but you've got the AFL on Saturday, a lot of the Far North Queensland rugby leagues all these days is on a Saturday. To me, they haven't set the time right for Pride. It should be on at 6:10 or 7.
Yeah,
or
it should be a later
later time.
game.
They're
Because-
trying to not clash with because Cowboys'
Right,
favourite
is that-
time is the 7:30 game
right.
Saturday night.
Okay.
If you ask them, at any round, Cowboys will always say that's the game that they want, because they fill up. So they're trying to get the people in the leagues club or whatever to watch come and watch the
Well, they can't
Pride
do that
first,
here. There's
and
no
then maybe
leagues
go
club.
in town and watch the game. The
Well, there's
Cowboys
going
game,
to
something
be.
like that.
Yeah, there's going to be a leagues club, but there's no leagues club at the moment.
So
It's there. It's there.
it's still there on the corner. I went past it yesterday. There's been no new works on it.
I think they're doing some stuff internally at the moment. Peter Jones, who is on the board of the Cowboys Leagues Club down in Townsville, they have purchased it, so it is happening. Like they actually own that pub, so it is happening.
All right, let's look at live and local FNQ, and the Kangaroos defeated Atherton 32-18. Mareeba 46 defeated Mossman 18. Southern Suburbs 44 defeated Tully 12. Cairns Brothers 36, Yarrabah 20, and the game of the round, Leprechauns 27 defeated Ivanhoe 26.
Oh, wow. I was going to I got so busy yesterday. I did actually want to go watch that game because it was out at
Smithfield.
Was.
Yeah. Okay, looking at that ladder there, Cairns Brothers 20, Innisfail 16, Mareeba 15, Atherton 15, Kangaroos 12, Ivanhoe's 10, Southern Suburbs 8, Tully Tigers 6, Yarrabah 4, and Mossman 0.
So Mossman are yet to open their account, and Brothers haven't lost the game. Right.
Yeah.
And they're going. We keep saying it every
Look,
week.
it's going to be a brothers Innisfail grand final.
Pretty
again,
sure.
isn't it? It's just like they are the two strongest clubs, and
Yeah,
there's a reason
and
why.
they have been
they've
here
both
since
got
I've been
very
up here
good-
for 5 years.
And considering the
Well-
dramas that the Leprechauns have actually had since, their coaches
Rodeo.
we'll call it that. All right, let's get on with the last one there. The AFL Cairns competition, and big loss for your boys, mate. 87
what
to
was going on,
29.
mate? Did you?
What's going on?
Oh, we just don't have the cattle, and we knew that at the start of the year. So we're just trying to get new players in for next year. So it's it's a little bit disappointing. We may not win too many more games for the year.
We had a big loss against Menunda too.
Yeah, it was a big loss there. Saturday, even though that was a bad result, it did not feel as bad as the week before. The week before, there was a lot of, wanting to put the noose over the neck.
At least your boys are trying.
That's
up
true.
and,
Oh, well,
They're
we're still
turning up.
putting two teams on the field, and we're trying to be competitive. So,
Yep.
yeah.
All right, Port Douglas, 98 defeated Central T-Bay Bulldogs there, 59. And the Cairns Saints, 96, defeated Menunda, 45. Meaning your ladder for that one there, and I'm just trying to bring that up now, and it's loading, still loading.
Oh, well, we do know that Port Douglas run
Yeah, Port Douglas are there. Yeah, so it's Port Douglas and the Cutters, followed by Cairns Saints, Bulldogs, Lions, Tigers, and Menunda. That's about it, boys. That's all I got.
Hang on, before we
we
go.
should have a talk
Soccer.
about the football.
The soccer.
Let's talk about the soccer.
Yeah.
It kicked off on Friday, and there's been some interesting results. But the one that we all want to talk about, Socceroos versus Turkey.
Smashed them.
Well,
Turkey,
we
yeah.
were not given a chance really by anyone to win. And look, our form leading into this competition, we had lost 4 and drawn 1, right? So a lot of people just thought, okay, well, this is probably going to, and I did too. I thought this will be a learning lesson for a lot of the young guys, just to get the experience of a World Cup finals and everything. Well, that was honestly one of the most amazing games of football I've seen the Socceroos play in 20 years. Probably as good as when I watched, my wife was saying, she goes, oh, I remember when we first met, we went and watched one. I said, yeah, that was the Japan versus Australia, and we won that one too. I think it was 2-1. But there was some amazing world-class efforts by our players.
The young goalkeeper, Beach, he was very good.
Yeah.
But
he's from Melbourne City as well. So a lot, I was actually saying, I was talking to Joel Devereaux, during it, and I said, well, I can guarantee that he's about to get a 0 on the end of his contract. Someone around the world's going to pick him up.
But realistically, I watched the second half. We probably only had the ball, like in our area, 3 to 4 times. The defence, and that's what this bloke from the US was saying this morning. He said the US will smash Australia. The reason why, because they've got 10 players playing in Premier Leagues throughout the world. Can we defend that well again? Because end of the day, I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, we've scored 2 goals.
It was a defensive effort.
It was just a defensive, because that's all. But he said, but that's all Australia can do is to defend. They don't have the quality players to be able to be attacking for 10, 15, 20 minutes.
I'll counter that though. So our top 3 players, like our starting forwards, right? It's Turia, Irukunda, and Metcalf. They might not be playing in the top leagues in the world, but those 3 players have got assets that you can't replicate. All 3 of them are lightning quick, right? And they can control the ball and can kick the ball really well. there was a story about Irankunda, right? That when as a 13-year-old playing in Adelaide, he actually broke a goalkeeper's arm when he kicked a ball, right? That's how hard he can kick a ball. I feel like these guys, I feel like our attack is there, but the whole game plan at the moment is to defend, and then counter, right? And that's what. But by having the top three guys that can run really fast, you've got Boss and you've got Italiano on the other side, who are both quite good passers. Italiano's passes were a little bit off, but he'll have a better game in the second game. I feel like they played their game plan perfectly.
Yeah.
It's called harem ball. A lot of people, and it's a very derogatory way of doing what we actually did there. Arsenal have been accused of winning the last Premier League by the same sort of tactics, by being deep in defence, really wearing you down, and then counter-attacking sort of thing. So, look, it's not pretty. It's not a pretty way to watch.
No,
and
it was a very, very boring game of football to watch. It really was, because the defence was great for Australia. They got frustrated Turkey, but we don't have many shots. Like, we obviously got two goals, but I would love to see
when we take our opportunity, we need to score, because we're not going to get a lot of them.
That's right, and we're probably only going to score 10%. So the next game against the US will be very interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
That's going to be top of for the top of the group, really.
Yeah.
I think whoever wins that one will end up top of the group.
Oh, we'll go to the final 16.
All right. Let's quickly go through the tips before we go. Knights and Dragons at McDonald Jones Stadium.
Knights.
Yeah, and we're actually doing this before, obviously, the team announcements as well, so we don't know who's in and who's out. Dolphins and Tigers at Campbelltown.
Dolphins too hot.
Yeah, I agree.
Tigers will win at Campbelltown.
Okay, Seabus, the Titans play Panthers. Panthers, obviously.
Panthers aren't going to lose this.
No.
Yeah, Panthers.
Okay, Manly
Titans don't
play...
mind playing Panthers, but it's Panthers.
Manly play the Dogs at Accor.
Manly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't like crossing the Harbour Bridge, but we'll go Manly.
All right. In Christchurch, the Warriors play the Cowboys.
I'm going Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm going to go Cowboys too.
Yeah. Only just.
It is a long way for our guys to back up, so I don't actually think we'll see the guys back up from Melbourne.
Deluded. There's no way the Warriors will lose 2-0.
I'll
shout you blokes lunch I'll shout you blokes lunch.
I would doubt if the Cowboys could actually win at Christchurch.
There's no way. There was no way they'll lose.
There would need to be an earthquake.
Okay, steak lunch. All right.
All right. The Raiders play the Storm at Amy Park.
No, Storm will win this.
I think the Storm.
I think Raiders are gone.
I think that was their final moment, don't you think, on the weekend to try to make the 8?
Yeah.
Treno? That's it.
Yep, I agree.
Sharks play the Roosters at Allianz.
I'm actually going to say Sharks.
Yeah, I'm probably
thinking the Sharkies too.
See, all during the year, every time the Roosters have been flogged, they've bounced back to win. So, I don't know. Maybe Roosters.
Harder to pick than a broken nose, that one.
And that's it.
All right, big game at Optus Stadium. The Dockers play the Cats.
Dockers easy.
Yeah, the Suns play the Hawks at People First Stadium.
This is a good game.
Hawks. I'm going to go Hawks on that one.
I think Dipper will rip it during the week, so they should win the Suns.
Melbourne play Adelaide at Adelaide Oval.
Adelaide.
Yeah, I'd say Adelaide for me.
I think they're coming back at the moment.
Some really good games this weekend.
Yeah. Carlton play the Giants at NG Stadium.
Only because it's at home, I'm going to go to the Giants.
Yeah, okay.
Port Adelaide play Collingwood at the MCG.
Pies.
Yeah, the Pies are not travelling well, but we should get over Port Adelaide.
North Melbourne play Richmond at the MCG.
I'm going to go the Tigers for an upset.
Yeah,
go the Tigers.
All right. And the last game, the Dogs play St Kilda at Marvel.
Don't trust the Saints. I tell you what, this is one of the best rounds of AFL for a long time.
Could be a very
10
interesting
v
watch.
I'm gonna go
8,
Dogs.
17 v 12, 13 v 15, 11 v 14, 6 play 4th. So if you've got nothing to do this weekend, get out there and watch your AFL.
Lions, Essendon, and Sydney and West Coast have buys. That'll will do us, boys.
Anyway,
Just
Thanks,
quickly,
guys.
who's winning Origin?
Queensland.
26-14.
Queensland. Just.
don't know. I don't trust Lauren, but you blokes will bounce back.
Yeah, I think Queensland will
Because
win.
Ashley Klein will cheat and make sure that it's a 1-all draw.
Come on.
Oh.
I said that today. He's damned if he do, damned if he's damned.
No, I don't know. I truly don't know. I never know who can win these games because I believe both sides, whoever they bring in and out, are as good as each other. And that's what makes this game so great.
Yeah. Hey, before we go, also a quick shout out there to F&Q Dental, who looked after me over the last 3 or 4 months there. I've got a brand new set of teeth and very happy with the result.
You chompers?
Good.
New chompers,
We'll
mate.
call you
Might
chomper.
go and see him myself.
The old
That's
chomper.
it.
The old
chompers.
choppers.
Yeah.
Good to see. Great to see. Thanks again, lads. Been really good.
All right,
Thanks,
boys. We
guys.
shall see you
All
again
right,
next week.
thanks, guys.
See you.
All right, have a good one. See you. Bye.